I want to follow up with, well, every year we've been talking about Hexagon's trying to bring the efficiencies of manufacturing, or what they can from it, to the end-to-end solutions for AEC,
right.
Engineering and construction. So I noticed with the announcements of now got ground penetrating radar, is
right.
it's sort of closed the loop.
Yeah.
First off, pat yourself on the back. You've been working for this for a long time. So tell us how this is going. I mean, where have y'all gotten in that process now?
Right. I think, Gavin, maybe more from a personal perspective, I'm just so excited about it because, as we have been talking about for years, I think this is just an extension of this 3D digitalization of the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, we really were strong on the terrestrial side, and then we expanded it airborne. Now we're doing it underground as well. So for me, it's a natural extension for our customers to provide them that digital world.
In here, and it's like I have to geek check myself.
Yeah.
Just the excitement of being able to add so many different types of data now
Yes.
to what we traditionally did. In a way, I think that what y'all are doing here is promoting the profession in concert with our associations.
Yeah, I agree. I think one of the biggest challenges that we have, that I think you guys share in, and I think you're helping with, especially with the change in the format of your magazine, is to broaden the understanding of the traditional surveying community to see what other sort of industries or applications that they can provide their expertise into. That article you had back in February for me was just right on, where it showed the use of, I think you called it location-based services, I often call it geospatial. I think to try to get the word out to the surveying community about that, right? I was floored. I saw some data from you, I think it came from you, or certainly I quoted you on it, that all the applications on our smartphones now, about 65% of those apps are using location-based services in the background.
Yeah,
right?
they use the NMEA position from our phone is used for a lot more than we realize.
Yes, yeah, and a lot of that is becoming so accurate as well. So it's not like in the early days of single-point GPS where it's maybe 30 meters, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of that data is centimeter level data, and it's not even known or understood. Well, when you get to that level of accuracy, then you need these geospatial competencies to make sure you know what you're doing. I think about the future of autonomous vehicles, right?
Mm-hmm.
There it's such a broad need for geospatial understanding or expertise, because there you have the mapping aspect, right? You need a dynamic map so the car can reference to what's coming up ahead or the changes that may be taking place. But then you also need positioning on that dynamic map. So there's two areas. And if I look at the newspaper and I see the hires that are taking place in the Silicon Valley around autonomous vehicles, there's all kinds of opportunities again for geospatial professionals in that area. That's perfect.
Well, you mentioned it yesterday that the opportunities in the geospatial sciences are booming.
Yeah.
There may be elements of our traditional markets for surveying and geospatial professions that may be contracting, but the other areas are exploding. And I'm hearing that here. I talk to people with companies going, we can't find the people to fill these positions.
Right, that's a real challenge. And again, I think that's something that we all share in your magazine, ourselves, the educational community. I think it'd be a good topic for us to work on. We've got a great program in Oregon where we partner with the university and David Evans and ourselves. So we provide we provide equipment, but what for me is the successful part of that formula is actually David Evans, because they help the university stay current with all this new technology that's coming over the fence, right? And they win because when students graduate, they're what we call work ready, right? Now, that's not enough though, because that makes, that allows students who graduate to understand some of the new technology. But what if you take a look at the leading edge technology, which is what I think you called it, right? Well, So like a mobile mapping system, I think it's very difficult for a university to have a single mobile mapping system and create a type of curriculum around it, right? So there's got to be yet another step somehow. We almost need a class around, new geospatial technology or somewhere. Maybe it brings us to this virtual reality topic that you and I have been talking about.
You mentioned that you could show us a couple of the key things that you think can make that point.
Great.
So we'll go out on the floor here and talk to some of your colleagues.